vast emptiness of space stretched endlessly, a silent void dotted with distant stars. But tonight, the calm was shattered. A massive alien fleet emerged from the darkness, their sleek, metallic ships gliding through the cosmos like shadows. At the center of the formation was the flagship, a towering behemoth bristling with weapons and glowing with an eerie green light. Inside, the alien commander Zorath stood tall, his forearms crossed confidently over his chest. His glowing eyes scanned the holographic map of Earth floating before him. Pathetic, Zorath muttered, his voice deep and guttural. A primitive blue planet, barely capable of space travel. This will be the easiest conquest yet. His second in command, a smaller alien named Vex, hesitated. Commander, our sensors are picking up unusual readings. The planet's atmosphere, its magnetic field, they're unlike anything we've seen before. Zorath waved a dismissive hand. Irrelevant. Their technology is centuries behind ours. They won't even know what hit them. The fleet moved closer, their ships casting ominous shadows over Earth's moon. On Earth, people went about their lives, unaware of the danger approaching. In a small town, a child pointed at the sky, noticing strange lights. "Mom, look, shooting stars." But these were no stars. As the alien ships entered Earth's orbit, their scanners began to buzz with activity. Strange energy signatures pulsed across the planet, fluctuating magnetic fields, unpredictable weather patterns, and faint but unmistakable signs of advanced technology hidden beneath the surface. Vex frowned, his tentacles twitching nervously. "Commander, something's not right. The planet, it's reacting to our presence." Zorath sneered. "Reacting? Don't be absurd. It's a rock, not a living thing. Prepare the landing parties. We'll crush their defenses before they even know we're here." The alien ships descended, breaking through Earth's atmosphere like fiery comets. The ground shook as they landed in a remote, rocky desert. Dust clouds billowed around them, and the hiss of cooling metal filled the air. Zorath stepped out of the ship, his armored boots crunching on the dry ground. He took a deep breath, his sensors analyzing the air. "Oxygen levels are high," he noted. "Gravity is slightly lower than expected. This planet is soft, weak, perfect for conquest." But as the alien soldiers fanned out, their confidence began to waver. The ground beneath them seemed to shift, as if the planet itself was alive. Strange sounds echoed in the distance, low rumbles like the growl of a beast. Vex's sensors went haywire, beeping frantically. "Commander, I'm detecting movement. Large life forms, approaching fast." Zorath clenched his fists. "Probably they're primitive animals, nothing we can't handle." Suddenly, the ground erupted. Massive creatures burst from the earth, giant worms with razor-sharp teeth, their bodies glistening in the sunlight. The aliens fired their weapons, but the creatures were too fast, too strong. One soldier was dragged underground, his screams cut short. Another was swallowed whole by a towering beast with scales like armor. Zorath roared in frustration. "Fall back, regroup at the ships." As the aliens retreated, the creatures vanished back into the ground, leaving only silence. Zorath glared at the horizon, his confidence shaken but not broken. "This planet is unpredictable, but we will not be defeated by mere animals. Prepare for the next phase. We will crush their cities and show them the price of defiance." Back on the flagship, Vex stared at the data streaming across his screen. The planet's energy readings were spiking, as if it was responding to the invasion. He turned to Zorath, his voice trembling. "Commander, I think we've made a mistake. This planet, it's not what it seems." Zorath's eyes narrowed. "Enough. We are the conquerors. This planet will fall, no matter what tricks it has." But deep down, even Zorath felt a flicker of doubt. Earth was no ordinary world, and as the alien fleet prepared for their next move, they had no idea what horrors awaited them. The child in the small town looked up at the sky again, the strange lights now gone. "Mom, the shooting stars disappeared." His mother smiled. Maybe they were just a dream. But it was no dream. The aliens had arrived, and Earth was ready. Underscore 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 underscore. This part sets the stage with suspense, action, and a hint of mystery, keeping the audience hooked for what comes next. The alien fleet regrouped in orbit, their ships battered but still formidable. Zorath stood on the bridge of the flagship, his glowing eyes fixed on the holographic map of Earth. The rocky desert had been a disaster, but he refused to let one setback derail his mission. Next target, Zorath barked, pointing to a dense green area on the map. This jungle, it's remote, uninhabited. We'll establish a base there and plan our next move. Vex hesitated, his tentacles twitching nervously. Commander, our scans show high levels of biological activity in that region. The life forms there are aggressive. Zorath snorted. Aggressive? We've faced worse. Prepare the landing parties. This time, we'll be ready. The ships descended once more, breaking through the atmosphere and landing in the heart of the jungle. The air was thick with humidity, and the sounds of chirping insects and distant animal calls filled the air. The alien soldiers stepped out cautiously, their weapons at the ready. The jungle was unlike anything they had ever seen. Towering trees stretched toward the sky, their branches forming a dense canopy that blocked out the sun. Vines hummed like snakes, and the ground was covered in a thick layer of leaves and mud. The air was alive with the hum of insects and the occasional screech of a bird. Zorath led the way, his confidence returning. This place is primitive. Nothing but plants and animals. We'll have no trouble here. But the jungle had other plans. As the aliens moved deeper into the forest, the ground beneath them began to shift. Vines seemed to move on their own, wrapping around the legs of unsuspecting soldiers. One alien screamed as he was dragged into the underbrush, his cries cut short by the sound of snapping jaws. "Stay alert!" Zorath shouted, his voice echoing through the trees. "This place is treacherous." Suddenly, the jungle came alive. Swarms of insects descended on the aliens, their tiny bodies crawling over armor and biting through weak points. Soldiers flailed wildly, trying to swat them away, but the insects were relentless. Then came the larger predators. A pack of wolves emerged from the shadows, their eyes glowing with an unnatural intelligence. They moved as one, circling the aliens and picking them off one by one. The aliens fired their weapons, but the wolves were too fast, too cunning. Zorath roared in frustration, his forearms swinging wildly as he fought off a wolf that lunged at him. "Fall back! Back to the ships!" The aliens retreated, their formation breaking as they stumbled through the jungle. The wolves pursued them, their growls echoing through the trees. One by one, the aliens fell, dragged down by the relentless predators. Finally, the survivors reached the ships, their armor dented and their bodies covered in bites and scratches. Zorath slammed his fist against the hull of the flagship, his anger boiling over. What is this place? How can a planet's wildlife be so coordinated? Vex stared at the data on his screen, his tentacles trembling. "Commander, it's not just the wildlife. The entire ecosystem is reacting to our presence. It's as if the planet itself is fighting back." Zorath's eyes narrowed. "Nonsense. A planet cannot think, cannot act. This is just bad luck. We'll find another location, one without these complications." But as the ships lifted off, leaving the jungle behind, Zorath couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. The trees seemed to sway in unison, as if bidding them farewell. And in the distance, a lone wolf howled, its voice carrying a warning. Back in the jungle, the wolves returned to their pack, their mission complete. The insects settled back into their nests, and the vines returned to their silent vigil. The jungle was calm once more, but it was a calm that hid a deadly secret. Earth was not just a planet. It was a living, breathing entity, and it would not be conquered easily. Underscore 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 underscore. This part builds on the suspense and action, introducing new challenges for the aliens and deepening the mystery of Earth's defenses. The audience is left wondering what other surprises the planet has in store. The alien fleet had suffered heavy losses in the jungle, but Zorath was determined to press on. "Enough of these remote regions," he growled, his voice filled with frustration. "We strike at their cities. Let's see how they handle a direct assault." The aliens set their sights on a sprawling human metropolis, a city of towering skyscrapers and bustling streets. From above, it looked like an easy target, a hub of human activity, seemingly defenseless. But as the ships descended, the humans below were already preparing. In the heart of the city, a group of ordinary people gathered in a dimly lit basement. They weren't soldiers or scientists, just teachers, engineers, shopkeepers, and students. But they had one thing in common: a fierce determination to protect their home. At the front of the room stood Marcus, a former mechanic with a knack for building things. "Listen up," he said, his voice calm but firm. "We don't have fancy weapons or high-tech gadgets, but we got something they don't: creativity. And today, we're going to show them what humans can do." The group nodded, their faces set with determination. They had spent weeks preparing for this moment, gathering supplies and devising plans. Now, it was time to put those plans into action. As the alien ships landed in the city square, the streets emptied. The aliens stepped out cautiously, their weapons at the ready. But the city was eerily quiet, the only sound the distant hum of machinery. "Where are they?" one alien soldier muttered, his voice tinged with unease. Before anyone could answer, the ground beneath them erupted. Explosions rocked the square, sending debris flying in all directions. The aliens scrambled for cover, their confidence shaken. From the rooftops, humans armed with homemade weapons rained down fire. Molotov cocktails, slingshots loaded with ball bearings, and even drones rigged with explosives. The humans used whatever they could find to fight back. Zorath roared in frustration, his forearms swinging wildly as he tried to regain control. Find them, crush them. But the humans were everywhere and nowhere. They moved through the city like shadows, striking quickly and disappearing before the aliens could react. A group of teenagers used the subway tunnels to ambush a patrol, while a team of construction workers used cranes to drop heavy debris on the alien ships. In the chaos, Marcus and his team made their way to the alien command post. They had one goal: to disable the aliens' communication systems and cut them off from their fleet. As they approached the command post, they were met with heavy resistance. Alien soldiers fired their energy weapons, forcing the humans to take cover. But Marcus had a plan. "Now," he shouted, signaling to his team. A homemade EMP device built from scavenged parts was activated. The pulse disrupted the alien systems, causing their weapons to malfunction and their communication devices to go silent. Zorath stumbled as his holographic map flickered and died. "What's happening?" he roared, his voice filled with rage. Marcus stepped out from behind cover, a makeshift weapon in his hands. "You picked the wrong planet to mess with," he said, his voice steady. The aliens, now disorganized and vulnerable, were no match for the humans' ingenuity and determination. One by one, they were overwhelmed, their forces pushed back. As the battle raged on, the humans fought with everything they had. They weren't soldiers, but they were united by a common purpose: to protect their home, their families, their way of life. By the time the sun set, the city was quiet once more. The aliens had been driven out, their ships left smoldering in the streets. The humans emerged from their hiding places, their faces filled with relief and pride. Marcus looked out over the city, his heart swelling with emotion. "We did it," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. "We showed them what humans are made of." But as the humans celebrated, Zorath and the surviving aliens retreated to their ships, their confidence shattered. They had underestimated the humans, and it had cost them dearly. Back on the flagship, Zorath stared at the holographic map of Earth, his glowing eyes filled with frustration. "This planet, these humans, they are not what we expected." Vex, his second in command, nodded nervously. "Commander, perhaps we should reconsider. This planet is different." Zorath clenched his fists, his voice low and menacing. "No, we will not be defeated. We will find a way to crush them, no matter what it takes." But deep down, even Zorath knew the truth. Earth was no ordinary planet, and its people were no ordinary species. The alien fleet regrouped once more, their ships hovering in low orbit above Earth. Zorath stood on the bridge of the flagship, his glowing eyes scanning the holographic map of the planet. The jungle had been a disaster, and the rocky desert before that had been no better. But Zorath was determined to press on. "We need a new strategy," he growled, his voice echoing through the command center. "This planet is more dangerous than we anticipated, but we cannot let it defeat us. We will strike at their cities, their centers of power. Without their infrastructure, they will fall." Vex, his second in command, hesitated. "Commander, our scans show that the humans have been preparing for an invasion." They have hidden defenses, advanced technology that we didn't account for. Zorath sneered. Hidden defenses? What can they possibly have that we haven't already seen? Prepare the fleet. We attack at dawn. As the alien ships descended toward a sprawling human city, the humans below were already preparing. Deep beneath the city, in a secret underground military base, a group of scientists and soldiers worked tirelessly. The base was a labyrinth of tunnels and chambers filled with advanced technology and weapons that had been developed in secret for decades. In the control room, General Carter stood before a massive screen, his arms crossed over his chest. The screen displayed a live feed of the alien fleet as it approached the city. "They're coming," Carter said, his voice calm but firm. "Activate Protocol Blackout." The scientists sprang into action, their fingers flying over keyboards and control panels. Across the city, hidden panels slid open, revealing powerful energy cannons and missile launchers. The streets emptied as civilians took shelter, leaving the city eerily quiet. Above, the alien ships descended, their weapons primed and ready. Zorath grinned as he looked down at the city. "This is it. We crush them here, and the rest of the planet will fall." But as the ships entered firing range, the city suddenly came alive. Energy cannons erupted, sending beams of light streaking into the sky. Missiles launched from hidden silos, their trails of smoke crisscrossing the sky like a deadly web. The alien ships were caught off guard. One by one, they were hit, their shields failing under the relentless barrage. Zorath's flagship rocked violently as a missile struck its hull, sending sparks flying across the bridge. "What is this?" Zorath roared, his voice filled with rage and disbelief. "Where did they get this technology?" Vex stared at the data on his screen, his tentacles trembling. "Commander, it's not just the weapons. The entire city is a fortress. They've been preparing for this for years." Zorath clenched his fists, his glowing eyes narrowing. "Then we'll destroy it all. Every building, every weapon. Nothing will remain." But as the aliens prepared to unleash their full firepower, the humans struck again. From the depths of the underground base, a massive energy pulse erupted, shooting into the sky and enveloping the alien fleet. The pulse disrupted their systems, causing their weapons to malfunction and their engines to fail. On the bridge of the flagship, alarms blared as the ship began to lose altitude. Zorath stumbled, grabbing onto a console to steady himself. "What's happening?" Vex's voice was filled with panic. "Commander, our systems are failing. We're losing power." The flagship plummeted toward the city, its hull glowing red from the heat of re-entry. Zorath roared in frustration, his voice echoing through the bridge. "This isn't over. We will not be defeated by these primiters." But as the ship crashed into the outskirts of the city, Zorath knew the truth. Earth was no ordinary planet. Its defenses were vast, its people resourceful. And as the dust settled and the smoke cleared, the humans emerged from their shelters, ready to fight another day. In the underground base, General Carter watched the feed from the surface, a grim smile on his face. "They thought we were weak. They thought we were unprepared, but Earth has always been ready, and we will defend it, no matter the cost." The screen went dark, leaving the room in silence, but the message was clear. Earth's hidden defenses were just the beginning, and the aliens had only seen a fraction of what the planet was truly capable of. Underscore 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 underscore. This part ramps up the tension and action, revealing Earth's advanced defenses and the humans' preparedness. The audience is left on the edge of their seats, eager to see how the aliens will respond and what other surprises Earth has in store. The alien fleet was in disarray. Ships smoldered in the ruins of the city, their hulls cracked and broken. Zorath's flagship lay half buried in the outskirts, its once proud form now a twisted wreck. The survivors stumbled out, their armor scorched and their confidence shattered. Zorath emerged from the wreckage, his glowing eyes blazing with fury. He grabbed Vex by the collar, lifting him off the ground. "You said they were primitive. You said this would be easy." Vex's tentacles flailed as he struggled to speak. "Commander, I didn't know. Their technology, their defenses, they've been hiding it all." Zorath threw Vex to the ground, his fists clenched. "Enough excuses. We still have the mothership." We'll regroup there and finish this once and for all." The aliens retreated to their massive mothership, which hovered ominously over the ocean. Its shadow stretched across the water, a dark reminder of their presence. Inside, Zorath stood on the command deck, his eyes fixed on the holographic map of Earth. "This planet has humiliated us," he growled, "but we are not defeated. We will unleash our full power and reduce their cities to ash. Prepare the orbital strike." Vex hesitated, his tentacles twitching nervously. "Commander, our scans show unusual activity in the ocean below. Energy readings are spiking. I think the planet is reacting again." Zorath sneered. "Reacting? Let it react. We will crush it under our might." But as the mothership prepared to fire, the ocean below began to churn. Massive waves rose and fell, their crests glowing with an eerie blue light. The energy readings spiked higher and higher until the entire ocean seemed to come alive. Suddenly, a colossal whirlpool formed beneath the mothership, its center glowing with a blinding light. The ship's systems began to fail, alarms blaring as the engines struggled to maintain altitude. "What's happening?" Zorath roared, his voice filled with panic. Vex stared at the data on his screen, his tentacles trembling. "Commander, it's the planet. It's using its natural forces against us. The ocean, the atmosphere, it's all connected." Before Zorath could respond, the whirlpool erupted. A massive waterspout shot into the sky, its tip striking the mothership with the force of 1,000 storms. The ship rocked violently, its hull groaning under the strain. On Earth, the humans watched in awe as the ocean itself seemed to rise up against the invaders. In the underground base, General Carter stood before the screen, a grim smile on his face. "Earth has always been our greatest ally," he said, "and now it's fighting back." The waterspout intensified, its winds tearing through the mothership's hull. Zorath stumbled as the ship began to tilt, its engines failing. "We have to get out of here, abandon ship." But it was too late. The mothership was caught in the whirlpool's grip, its massive form dragged down into the depths. The aliens screamed as the ship was torn apart, its wreckage swallowed by the ocean. Zorath clung to a console, his glowing eyes wide with fear. This cannot be. We are the conquerors. We cannot be defeated by a planet." But as the ship sank beneath the waves, Zorath knew the truth. Earth was no ordinary world. It was a living, breathing entity, and it would not be conquered. The ocean calmed, its surface once again smooth and serene. The humans emerged from their shelters, their eyes turned to the sky. The alien threat was gone, but the battle had left its mark. In the underground base, General Carter turned to his team. "This is just the beginning. Earth has shown us its strength, but we must remain vigilant. The universe is vast, and there are always more threats on the horizon." The screen went dark, leaving the room in silence. But the message was clear. Earth was not just a planet. It was a force to be reckoned with. And for any invaders, as the aliens prepared for battle, the humans were already on the move. A convoy of armored vehicles and soldiers approached the wasteland, their determination unwavering. At the front of the convoy was General Carter, his face set in a grim expression. "This is it," he said, his voice steady. "We end this here and now. No more running, no more hiding. Earth is our home, and we will defend it to the last." The humans reached the edge of the wasteland, their vehicles forming a defensive line. Soldiers took up positions behind rocks and ridges, their weapons trained on the alien camp. The tension was palpable, the air thick with anticipation. Zorath stepped forward, his four arms raised in defiance. "Humans, you think you've won, but you've only delayed the inevitable. We are the conquerors. We will not be defeated by the likes of you." General Carter stepped out from behind the line of vehicles, his eyes locked on Zorath. "You're wrong. This isn't just about us. This is about Earth, and Earth doesn't take kindly to invaders." The battle began with a deafening roar. The aliens charged, their weapons blazing. The humans returned fire, their bullets and energy beams cutting through the alien ranks. The wasteland erupted into chaos, the sound of gunfire and explosions echoing across the barren landscape. Zorath fought with a ferocity born of desperation. His four arms swung wildly, crushing anything in his path. But the humans were relentless, their determination unshakable. They fought not just for themselves, but for their planet, their home. As the battle raged on, the tide began to turn. The aliens, once so confident, were now outnumbered and outmatched. One by one they fell, their bodies littering the ground. Zorath roared in frustration, his glowing eyes blazing with fury. "You cannot defeat us," he screamed, his voice filled with rage. "We are the conquerors. We are." His words were cut short as a bullet struck his chest, piercing his armor. He stumbled, his glowing eyes wide with shock. General Carter stood before him, his weapon smoking. "You're not conquerors," Carter said, his voice cold and steady. "You're invaders, and Earth doesn't tolerate invaders." Zorath fell to his knees, his strength failing. He looked up at the sky, his glowing eyes dimming. This cannot be. But as his body crumpled to the ground, the battle came to an end. The aliens were defeated, their once mighty force reduced to nothing. The humans stood victorious, their faces filled with relief and pride. General Carter looked out over the battlefield, his expression grim but satisfied. "This is our home, and we will protect it, no matter the cost." The sun set on the wasteland, its golden light bathing the battlefield in a warm glow. The humans gathered their wounded and began the long journey back to their cities. The alien threat was over, but the memory of the battle would remain. Earth had faced its greatest challenge, and it had emerged victorious. But as the humans returned to their lives, they knew that the universe was vast, and there were always more threats on the horizon. For now, though, they could rest. Earth was safe, and that was all that mattered. The battle was over. The alien threat had been neutralized, and Earth was safe for now. But as the humans returned to their cities and began to rebuild, questions lingered. How had Earth's natural forces risen up to defend against the invaders? Why had the planet itself seemed to fight back? Deep beneath the surface, in a hidden research facility far from prying eyes, a team of scientists worked tirelessly to uncover the truth. The facility was a marvel of human ingenuity, filled with advanced technology and cutting-edge equipment. At its heart was a massive chamber, its walls lined with screens displaying data and images from across the planet. Dr. Elena Martinez, the lead scientist, stood before a holographic projection of Earth. Her eyes were focused, her mind racing as she analyzed the data. "The readings are consistent," she said, her voice filled with awe. "Earth's magnetic field, its weather patterns, even its tectonic activity. They all responded to the alien threat. It's as if the planet itself knew we were in danger." Her colleague, Dr. Raj Patel, nodded in agreement. "It's more than that. The way the ocean reacted, the way the wildlife coordinated their attacks, it's almost like Earth has a consciousness, a way of protecting itself and us." The team had been studying Earth's unique properties for years, long before the alien invasion. They had discovered anomalies that defied explanation. Fluctuations in the planet's energy fields, strange patterns in its ecosystems, and even evidence of a hidden network of energy that connected every living thing. But it wasn't until the invasion that they realized the full extent of Earth's capabilities. "The planet's defense mechanisms are unlike anything we've ever seen," Dr. Martinez continued. "It's not just random reactions. It's coordinated, purposeful. Earth didn't just fight back, it protected us." The team's findings were groundbreaking, but they also raised new questions. How had Earth developed these defenses? Was it a natural evolution, or was there something more at play? As they delved deeper into the data, they uncovered something even more astonishing. Hidden beneath the Earth's crust was a vast network of crystalline structures, pulsing with energy. These structures seemed to be the source of the planet's defensive capabilities, acting as a kind of neural network that connected every part of the planet. "It's like Earth has a brain," Dr. Patel said, his voice filled with wonder. "A way of thinking, of reacting, and it's been protecting us all along." The implications were staggering. Earth wasn't just a planet, it was a living, breathing entity, and it had chosen to protect its inhabitants, to fight back against those who sought to harm it. As the scientists shared their findings with the world, the reaction was mixed. Some celebrated the discovery, seeing it as proof of Earth's resilience and strength. Others were skeptical, questioning the validity of the research. But for General Carter, the truth was clear. Standing before a crowd of survivors and soldiers, he addressed the world. "Earth is more than just our home," he said, his voice steady and strong. "It's our ally, our protector, and it's shown us that we're not alone in this fight. We have a responsibility to protect it, just as it has protected us." The crowd erupted into cheers, their voices echoing across the city. But as the celebrations began, Dr. Martinez and her team returned to their research. There was still so much to learn, so many mysteries to unravel. In the hidden chamber, the holographic projection of Earth glowed softly, its light casting a warm, reassuring glow. The planet was alive, and it had a story to tell. For now, though, the humans could rest. They had faced their greatest challenge and emerged victorious. And as they looked to the future, they knew that Earth would always be there, watching over them, ready to defend its children. The hidden truth had been revealed. Earth was not just a planet, it was a guardian. And for any invaders, it was their worst nightmare.